Hey, we're Saints. Father Chris here. Welcome to our Crucifixion live stream. Glad to have you with us on this glorious Friday as we wrap up the week. I kind of want to take some shots at people. And let me tell you what I mean. You know, if you, I'm sure like all of us in the world, have YouTube personalities that we follow, right? People that we watch, we're interested to hear what they say. I mean, if you're watching me, that means that you are interested in what Deacon Greg and I have to say as Warrior Saints. I mean, we all have those personalities. One of the things I notice is that so many of them, and not all, but my gosh, use hatred, negativity, anger, evil, darkness as and polarity as their grip, their hook. You know what I mean? They're preaching these messages of how tragic everything is, and you know, if you want to do this, you're bad, and it's going to be, you know, devastating, and the world's going to fall apart, and all that kind of stuff. And I was thinking about it the other day, driving into the office to prepare for our streams, and Deacon Greg and I were talking about it, and it's like, where's the message of hope? Right? Where is that message that there is light? And if we leave that darkness behind, that through Christ and a Christ-like life, i.e. a warrior saint, we can find that hope and that light, that peace, you know, so that life becomes not, oppressive and crushing, but it becomes, you know, enjoyable, peaceful, fun, beautiful, all the things that I think God intended us to reap from this beautiful life that we live. And that can only happen if we live crucifixionally, which is a funny thing. Here's my final thesis on it all. In order to find the good, you have to go through the bad. So I understand why people start with the darkness, you know, but when they preach constantly a message of darkness, it's like, come on, man, let's get through it. So listen to Paul. This is St. Paul in Romans chapter 13. Deacon Greg read it yesterday. You let us then cast off the works of darkness and put on the armor of light. Let us conduct ourselves becomingly as in the day, not reveling in drunkenness or debauchery or licentiousness. And he goes on and on. You can hear what St. Paul is telling us here. Like, don't do the works of darkness, right? So you can't control what other people do in their lives, in the world. You can't control what they do to you. You can only control how you respond to those things. So when someone's preaching a message of darkness and hate and anger and all that kind of stuff, you know, the temptation, and I feel it too sometimes, is to want to jump in and be like, yeah, you know, and you get on that bandwagon. But you've now absorbed, consumed darkness. I think what the apostle is telling us, put that stuff off. You got to have that inner dialogue, that conversation in your mind. Hey, I notice that emotion that I'm feeling. I recognize there's anger or hate, or you may even say to yourself, oh, here is the emotion of anger. Here is the emotion of hate. Like, acknowledge it, recognize it. It's there. It's not going away. And then you can say, but here's how I'm going to handle it. Here's how I will respond to it. I choose to recognize that emotion, that it's there. It's a real thing, that feeling, that thought. But I will not submit to it. I will not allow it to hook me. I'm not going to get into that, you know, negativity game. I'm going to try to find the positive that can come only from Christ. And that positivity comes when I live a crucifixional life myself, right? I mean, the storyline is this, and I'll just end it here. Christ took the cross and ended with the greatest of all positive outcomes, right? In the empty tomb. I mean, that shows you that hardship of the cross, the crucifixion that he endured, led to the greatest of all outcomes. And he says to us, hey, warrior saints, you want to do the same thing, take your own crosses. So we have to face that hardship, face that darkness, not allowing ourselves to be consumed by it or overcome by it. It didn't conquer Christ. He is that light shining in the dark. So take that light yourself and live accordingly. I tell you, it works. It works. And we will find that hope and that peace that we so desperately crave. Love you, beautiful people. It's been a fun week. We've had a lot going on, from forgiveness and apologies, and now into how to overcome the darkness. I don't know what we're going to do next week, but something fun. We'll think through it and we'll get after it. Until then, you can join us on the Way of the Warrior Saint by visiting our website and subscribing. You can also see us for Orthros and Liturgy on Sunday morning at 9 and 10 a.m. Mountain, respectively, and then we'll be back Monday. Love you. Have a great weekend. Be safe, and as always, keep walking on the way of the Warrior Saint.